it, and it's locked in. That kelp splatter scope, you don't always need the range that the E-liter provides here. That quick shooting splatter scope. Use the sprinkler. Use the sprinkler there to get some ink, and then of course you have that killer whale online. Charges extremely fast. Looks like we are going to be staying with the cherry. Maybe a zinc here. Doesn't look like it's quite locked in yet, but right now we're seeing a pretty. Okay, yeah, this is a pretty standard comp, I'd say. Zimmy 9-6 in the splatter scope. And the cherry's going to get locked in now. The 9-6 steps out. Lobby simulator. Thrilling gameplay.
You have the Zimmy and you have that kelp splatter scope, which, as you said, I mean, it was basically just made for Splat Zone's Camp Triggerfish. You'd be very, very hard pressed to find a better mode and map combination for a weapon like that.
Absolutely, and it looks like we're going to dive right in here. Let's see if we can see the comp that A will be. Oh, a Bamboozler. I love to see Bamboozlers here, and I believe that was a kelp splatter scope, their other weapon, to go along with their bucket and a T-Tech.
Yeah, the return of the Slosher here, not a bad choice at all. You can really use the burst bomb to your advantage here. Get the other zone painted from the other side of the map with those burst bombs. Help to start lock things down. And of course, we see there that Team AA ready for the flank. And I think they did send 2 to one side and 2 to the other.
Yeah, they initially sent, very nice kill there with the straight shooting right there. But they did actually send 2 people over initially, or 3 people over for the middle, but they had somebody jump over to the side, seeing that it was going to be a 2-in-2 situation. Looks like they're going to send another one back over here. And right now,
lock things down immediately, already past 70 into the 60s, and that was a 2-down situation for auto aimers, who now has to come back from their spawn to Bamboozler, trying to take down this wall as well. But that's a great kill by the cherry to lock things down even further.
Right there, you just see the terror of it. Stand behind your wall, fire 2 quick, strafe back, fire another 2 shots. If those hit somewhat directly, it's a kill. That's just the kill power that this weapon has.
And these teams made it this far, but look at how much Purizuma is locking things down over auto aimers. It looks like it's not even a contest so far. They have all the map control. Auto aimers hasn't even been able to really get out of their spawn. They've been able to build up a few killer whales because it's such a cheap special, but they really haven't been able to make it further than that. And that's already the game. A knockout this quickly.
It's so hard to approach that position when the cherry's set up there, because they can just keep firing from long distance right there. They can throw out their walls, and if you get close, there's always the chance that they will have that bubble. And wow, I think we're going to need to see some adjustments out of auto aimers here.
Yeah, auto aimers, I know in their previous set they had a bit of trouble at the start of the game, but they were always able to come back and take things over again. This game, there was absolutely no chance. And
no.
For a team like that to be shut down so readily, it just shows how powerful Purizuma is. And as you said, Auto Aimers is going to need to find a drastically different strategy if they want to cower this powerhouse team.
Right, but we do see now it is Walleye Warehouse, a little bit more of an open map. Not that that really is a disadvantage for anything, I'm sure, that Purizuma is going to run. But may open things up a little bit. I'm almost certain that we're going to see the Luna Blaster out of Cross here. So we'll see what that can do. Maybe if that can turn the tides a little bit.
Yeah, Purizuma switching over from a Charger to a Grim Range Blaster, so gaining a Killer Whale, trading a Killer Whale for a Killer Whale, actually, but no sniping. They're going to just try and go for those directs. On the other side of things, Auto Aimer's going with both an E-Liter and a Dynamo, so they're going to have a ton of range at their disposal.
Right, and I don't know if you saw, but Cross actually opting for the CRB, the Custom Range Blaster, rather than going for that invincibility special in the bombs, maybe to try to get a little bit of suppression from outside the zone, rather than always having to be in the middle bit. And I'd imagine he probably doesn't want to try to charge in at that cherry. So I guess I can kind of understand what he's going for there. Like I said, great snipe there on cherry, but I think I can understand going the Custom Range Blaster here.
Yeah, it's going to be GRB versus CRB. It is again Purizuma locking things down here in the early game. That danger sign flashing above these squid heads of auto aimers. They do stop them at 70. And as you said, the cherry here just going to this right-hand port this entire time and just trying to lock things down. Not able to do it though, as they lose control and are given a penalty of 60 or of 24. But they do have their bubble at the ready, and it looks like they're going to push in with it here.
Yeah, unfortunately, pushing in that early, not getting any off of that. It's like, yes, just like that, they're going to be losing their lead. Still ticking. Okay, they finally do manage to stop it. Looks like kind of forced to push in a little bit prematurely there. It looks like their game plan is to just send the cherry over here to the side, try to lock that down, get some shots up there at the top, and just keep them from pushing in there. Because the cherry's gone this way every single time. So looks like very much happy to just shoot in from the right and kind of rotate as need be. And they're back in control, and the clock's ticking once again.
Yeah, it looked like for a second that AutoAimers was growing wise to that strategy of just sending 1 or 2 players, especially the Cherry, over to this right-hand side, but they really haven't been able to deal with it. The Cherry's always come back, and it's taken a couple of people out already. The Sniper hasn't been able to find a pick, the Bamboozler wasn't able to either, and now this zone has already ticked past the 30s into the 20s, and this is looking very, very bad for AutoAimers.
We talked about the suppression earlier that this Cherry can provide. It's just saying, come on, approach me, just try. And they get double Kraken on the zone, but Kraken can't paint. And another very convincing victory.
And these have been unbelievably fast games. It looked a little better for AutoAimers there. They were able at least to lock down the zone just for a little bit and even take the lead. But with the Cherry locking down that right-hand side of the zone and not giving AutoAimers any entry point into the zone itself, they were able to just lock things down in mid and just take the set the game very, very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that Grim Range Blaster there went 5-1. Wow. Like, well, the Cherry was funneling the middle of the pushing up and then getting the kills there from the range. They just didn't seem to have a whole lot of power there. They could push in with their invincibility specials, but at the end of the day, if you have ink control, you don't really have to fear even a double Kraken in that situation as long as you stay outside of the zone. So it looks like we're going to be switching to finally off the Cherry to a Wasabi, perhaps. Blackbelly Skate Park, of course, a very close quarters map. Looks like they're going to be running double, not double T-Tech, but a T-Tech and a Wasabi here. So trading some of that range for a little bit of up-close killing power. And we'll see what AutoAimers has to go against this, because this is game 3. Might get a 30 here.
Yeah, they really need to make their sort of last stand here. Feeling comfortable on the Grim range, they're going to keep that with them. We see the switch over from the E-Leader to a splatter scope on the other side of things, on the side of AutoAimers. So, again, sticking with that Sniper, feeling confident in it, even though they haven't been able to pick up a game yet. And the Wasabi, I think, is a really good choice. Like you said, a close quarters map, as we see a nice kill there on the Dynamo.
Oh my goodness.
Take over that other zone.
Yeah, and right now the Wasabi is just running around the map, kind of going wherever it pleases. And oh my goodness, I absolutely love watching T-Techs play, because when they get moving, their mobility is just incredible to see. I mean, it's one of the reasons why it is one of the base weapons that you see in almost every comp.
Yeah, it has a low skill floor, but you can really tell these high-level players have such a better grasp of it than maybe mid or low tier players. They have the strafing potential, and as you said, the maneuverability. They get around the map so fast, and they can just pick people off and keep going.
Right, and there's the power of positioning. Knowing when to go in, knowing where to put yourself so that you're in the right situation at the right. It's not a coincidence that they always seem to be able to be at the spot to make the play. It's because they know where it's coming from, they're communicating. And AutoAimers finally going to get at least something on that clock, put a little bit of a penalty on, but it looks like even their charge might have been thwarted.
Yeah, they forced a 3-down situation onto the side of Purizuma, which allowed them to gain control very, very briefly, but it is Blackbelly, so you're going to be coming back incredibly fast from your spawn, especially if you're that one member running quick respawn and stealth jump. We also saw a bit back there. We saw a great Kobe, a great shot of the splat bomb there that did end up in a kill from across the map. So again, Purizuma able to lock things down, just trying to keep things locked down here with that splat bomb. It can basically almost cover half of the zone, considering how small these zones are.
Right, Cross finally going to be able to crash in. Oh, but he's getting stuffed by a bubble. Oh my goodness, it's so scary whenever you're up against this situation, because you've gotten a kill, you're finally trying to push into and then a bubble gets popped. I mean, it's you can move in, but the more you paint, the more special your opponent gets.
Yeah, it's almost like all your hard work is for nothing. You make all the right moves, and then all they have to do is click in their right thumbstick, and they have a huge advantage over you. So that's allowed AutoAimers to regain both control of both of these zones here. We do see a Killer Whale and an Ink Strike here, so Purizuma is chaining their specials, which is always a nice thing to do. And unfortunately, the Wasabi not able to pick up the kill on the Octoshot. We almost see a lead change, but they are stopped at 57. It's so close.
Okay, finally. AutoAimers finally battling back here a little bit. They have come from behind in their 2 games last set as well. To do it in dramatic fashion here.
Ooh, that was a great kill there on the Cross. Cross obviously not an easy customer to go by, but the Wasabi able to lock down their own zone, and now they're setting their sights on the opponent.
Right, and that is a trade that the Wasabi will take 9 times out of 10 there, getting control after getting that kill from an enemy up top, and finally going to be able to stack a little bit of a penalty back onto auto aimers right now. And now they're going to be able to start moving up a little bit of pushing their own. Going to try to take this tower. Such an important... Oh my goodness, that Dynamo!
Jeez. Unbelievable. Yeah, just hanging out by that middle cylinder, just taking people out saying, no, I am the guardian of the zone, and you shall not pass. And they've forced so many 3-down situations here as well. It's a completely different story from games 1 and 2.
Right, and I think the Dynamo is just perfectly content to sit up there knowing that this team doesn't really have the range on their comp right now to do a whole lot about it. And control of that middle cylinder is so important, of course in splat zones, but in this map in general, as the Dynamo finally does move over here to the half pipe. But control of that center is so important right now. And unfortunately for Purizuma right now, they're just having a hard time working their way back through. Is Dynamo still up? What? I cannot believe the Dynamo is still alive. The fall-off damage not going to get the kill on it. Finally taking out the Dynamo. Okay, finally moving through. But Cross there, ready to pick up and clean up. And they still have control of that middle tower. And I know Purizuma's got to do something to get that tower back if they want to.
Yeah, and you brought up a great point. You really have to play to what your opponents have brought to the table. You have to play to what weapons they have. So you have to be able to take down a Dynamo either by flanking them around or by just charging them head-on before they can get a shot off. We see Cross going down there again. He couldn't find a direct. But that is 2 down for Purizuma. We do see an Ink Strike is available as well for this Wasabi. So if he needs it, he can fire it off. They still don't have control of the zones. And Auto Aimers is working through their penalties, so they need to do something fast as we're in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is as close to a stalemate as we've seen. Trading that one there, but right now Auto Aimers very much happy to continue with those trades as Cross crashes down from the top. And that right there is exactly why that middle is so important. It just gives you access, especially with the stealth jumper, to just keep putting bullets up from the top and raining down. And right now Auto Aimers absolutely in a great position and does take that first game. Good to see some resiliency there. We will not see a 3-0, not in this set, not today.
Yeah, glad we'll at least be going to a game 4. And as you said, that middle cylinder, it provides an element of elevation that you don't get on almost any other part of the map. Maybe the sniper purchase, but even those aren't as high up. We do see an 11-7 performance from the Octo shot, as well as a 7-3 from the snipers. So really fantastic comeback performance there. It's the start of what could be a reverse sweep, but they still have a long way to go as we enter game 4.
Yes, they do. And the combination of Dynamo up there at the top, sniper, I didn't see the sniper up on that perch a whole lot. But the combination, the threat of that, just being able to put 2 weapons that can just lock areas down, provided their aim is accurate. Really smart play there from AA there. And it looks like we are going to see that Cherry coming back. I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
I'm biased. I'm very biased.
Interesting, though, for Mahi to not see anything like a Dynamo roller. The Dynamo really excels on a map like this one, and we're going to instead be seeing that same combination that they brought into the last game, still feeling confident with it, even though they weren't able to come away with the win in Game 3. They still will have an Ink Strike at their disposal, as well as a couple of bubbles and a Killer Whale, so not a bad combination of specials.
So I'm personally very, very interested in seeing where the Cherry goes. We saw the power that the Cherry can have when and locks down an area with that suppression power in that range. I'm very interested to see where they place the Cherry, especially here at the critical juncture that is the opening.
Yeah, and Auto Aimers bringing a much more, I would say, meta composition for what we see from Western teams. They have an E-Leader, a Dynamo, and a couple of shorter range weapons like an Octo shot. So, but it is going to be Purizuma that locks things down first, but immediately turns back over to Auto Aimers. So we're just going to be trading back and forth here as 5, now 6 out of the 8 members are down from both teams.
Yeah, it almost looked like they sent out 1 or 2 people straight into the zone to grab it immediately. I don't want to say as bait, but it almost looked like they were okay losing that initial engagement if it meant that they could crash back in with the Cherry and with a couple other weapons afterwards. And Cross going to absolutely situate himself right down there. The power that the Luna Blaster has here over the opponent's chair, over the opponent's snipe, and over anyone trying to jump over that. Cross knows where to be. And he's just going to put his giant blast zone anywhere he wants.
Yeah, and this is actually turning out to be more of a bloodbath than Black Belly Skate Park was. You normally see on such a small map like that, you see a ton of deaths and huge KDs, but I see people going down left and right here. We're past 60 as well, so we're going to see the rest of the map getting unlocked and available for turfing. A really interesting element of Mahi Mahi, and the bubble is ready here for the Cherry as well.
Yeah, it's just they're having a hard time getting in. It's almost as if, you know, the Cherry isn't able to set up, isn't able to create that suppression. Cross just seems to be everywhere at once, which, surprise, surprise, that's what Cross does. But they're just having a hard time, you know, getting in. And the Dynamo, we know that the Dynamo is there, even if we can't necessarily see it. And the Dynamo is finally going to come out, and a sniper as well.
The Cherry actually doing a decent job of painting, and this, as you said, this E-leader hanging out behind that wall, having to do left peeking, obviously not ideal. You'd prefer to do right peeking, but they're getting some pretty good kills here, and they already got it down to 11, even though they were given that huge penalty. They're consistently getting 2 or 3 down situations forced onto Purizuma, which is something that they weren't able to do at all in games 1 and 2.
Right, and the Cherry has gone left. I would say this is about the 3rd time that the Cherry's gone left, so they must have something that they're maybe gonna stack the penalty here. Okay, finally do. Finally able to start there. They just kept going left, and finally their persistence pays off. Now we have a little bit of a shark set up.
Yeah, this Cherry going to hang out behind this wall. They know that's where the E-leader likes to sit. They're not going to catch them out there because they weren't hanging out there as well. But 1 down for each team. The Dynamo is going to be around that wall, though. So the Cherry and the Dynamo are going to dance a little bit, but the Dynamo is going to come away with it, pop that echolocator, and they're going to make sure that zone gets painted.
Yeah, and just when it finally started to look like Purizuma had some that just able to come back in, get the kills into. You know, you can position yourself as well as you want, but at the end of the day, your bullets have to hit the opponent. And oh, I don't know if that was a bait or what it was, but that was great. The Cherry thinking that it could just get the kill on Cross for free, but the Octo Shot saying, no, I've got my buddies back. We have positioned ourselves so we can counter something like this. And it's just awesome to see that kind of counterplay.
Yeah, and especially when you have a bubble at the ready, you really don't want to be going down. Crossed again, taking him out before he could build up that bubble fully. He does have that special saver, so he's not going to be losing too much of it, but that's still more than he wants to be losing, and it's allowing them to gain control back. However, Purizuma able to take it away from them and bring a penalty again up to auto aimers with about 1.5 minutes left to go. The Cherry does have their bubble at the ready, and they've gotten this zone down to 46. He's going to pop it there, take down Cross, and he's trying to lock things down on the zone itself. So he's really being that aggressor in the middle of the objective.
So something that's really interesting about this map is, I guess, the area that you could call field of battle, where most of the fighting goes down.
Right.
Entirely composed of the zone. So if you take the zone, which can be done very rapidly, you essentially take the map almost, you know, unlike another stage where if you take the zone but don't have the map, you can lose the zone very quickly. If you take the zone in this circumstance, you really do take a good chunk of the map, the playable map. So just to see this back and forth trade-off going on, it seems like one team has control for 1 second. I was about to comment on how Purizuma just seemed to have it, but just as I was about to say that, now it goes back into favor of auto aimers.
Yeah, at this point in the tournament, never count one of these teams out. They've made it here for a reason, and they keep trading map control back and forth. The Cherry actually doing a great job of painting the zone, as you said, and the E-leader and the Dynamo really either just hanging out on those upper elevations or right behind the zone. It looks like the E-leader is up on that top left platform. 2 down there for Purizuma, but the Cherry does have his bubble. Again, we're under that 30-second mark, and it's still possible here for Purizuma to close things out, but right now Auto Aimers is in control of the zone, and they really want to bring this one to a game 5.
Absolutely. Just 12, 11, 10 seconds left here in the match. They've got a bit of a wall. Okay, I'll say it. They've got about a mountain to climb here. This is quite a bit of time, but they do get the kill on the Dynamo there. They should take the penalty back down to 0. We're in overtime right now, and Purizuma looking really, really, really good right now after going down initially very early. And they're just raining bullets up top. They aren't able to find a way down.
Yeah, this Cherry desperately trying to build up this bubble so that if Auto Aimers does push in, as they sort of have to,
I don't think they're going to have time.
It's going to be close.
That's going to be it. Cross goes in, but by himself, no
resources
to die. And that's going to be it. Auto Aimers going down, and Purizuma picking up a big, big win, earning themselves a spot in Grand Finals.
Unbelievable. They had just enough time to pull that off. They were looking to get 35 points in overtime, but they were able to secure things. Didn't even have huge KDs. You look at Auto Aimers, 16-10, 10-3. And nothing really huge standing out for Purizuma, but they played that objective to a T, and they were able to keep it from going to a game 5. Major props to them on going to Grand.